All right, here we go. Okay, we should be live now. Maybe, maybe not. Let's hit the keyboard shortcut just to be on the safe side. Yeah, I see it popping up there. How's it going there? Um, yeah, eldest, totally. Let's hope I don't fall asleep on this one. Andrew, family's doing just fine. Wife actually has food poisoning right now, so if she suddenly texts me and says that she needs some hot tea or something like that, I will have to throw up a quick graphic and disappear for a moment. But hopefully that won't happen because I'm hoping that she'll be okay. Um, anyway, so just so that you understand what's going on in this video, this is a mid-video video. Typically, I release a video every 4 days. I fell out a little bit, fell behind just a little bit with that schedule because I was pretty slammed at work actually, which is a rare thing. It was had a commercial, then I had a couple of days, and I had very little sleep between the two, and even less than normal. But anyway, so I ended up falling behind a little bit. So I figured I would do this as a kind of a playing catch up video. And what I'm basically doing in this video is editing a rebranding video. And what I mean by that is, well, in short, let me just play the intro for you.
Sound Spades, and if you visited my YouTube channel or watched any of my videos produced prior to August of 2018, then you are no doubt familiar with my name, ID Chiron, and...
Okay, that's not the way it was supposed to be. Let me show you the way it was supposed to be.
Sound Spades, and if you visited my YouTube channel or watched any of my videos produced prior to August of 2018, then you are no doubt familiar with my name, ID Chiron, and my channel logo. But about a month ago, I was reached out to by a graphics designer out of the Netherlands by the name of Peter Sleggers. Now, Peter is an expert in branding. And one of the things he did that completely blew my mind was he took my logos and produced a multi-page document that he sent me highlighting a whole bunch of improvements that I could make. So how could I not take this graphics advice?
Okay, that is the intro. That will show you what I'm doing. And basically put, I have my standard graphics, which has a squiggle going through there. And then this graphic and both this and this actually expand. I don't know if you've ever noticed it or not, but they both kind of grow throughout the shot. But that is not anything that really, sorry, I think that's glitching a little bit. That's not anything that really needs to happen. It's actually better for me if it doesn't. And the reason why is because it makes it easier to see if it is otherwise, if it's done a little bit differently. So what I'm going to do first is what I typically do. Oh, let's not snap. I'm going to line this up. And eldest, you'll know that occasionally I've forgotten to do this part here. But basically, what I normally try to do is take the actual size of the picture, because I record at 2.2K. Here, let me put it back in snapping. Okay. So 2.2K allows me to blow it up just a little bit. And you can see how it's not centered. Well, that's going to wreak havoc on my outro. So what I always do is I blow it up just a little bit, which allows me to resize. Well, not really resize, but it allows me to kind of recenter it. So that is about centered right there. You can go here, zoom in, and yeah, that looks pretty good right there. All right, now when I go to fit, that right there is my graphic. I can go to copy. And that's going to duplicate all of it. Now, if you notice here, this is processed. That is not processed. And the reason why is because my I ended up I basically made a template that I always follow in my YouTube channel videos, and that template is where I start. I have one that's called Old Start Now, and then I have one. Yes, it would be rebranding. Yes, replace rebranding. But if you look at this, I'll show you real quick. If I go here, there's old start, which is the template I've normally followed on my videos. And then I'll have to show you that at one point. I tried to do a video that didn't turn out. I'll tell you about that in a second. And then I have new start, which is the new graphics intro and stuff like that. But you'll see that in a bit. Shooting in the shower. I guess I could show you. It was a funny. It didn't turn out well at all. No, don't merge. What I was doing is I tried to do a video talking about wind protection, well, rain protection rather, and it ended up being that the whole thing ended up being botched from the very beginning. I'll just show you real quick. I tried editing it, but it didn't turn out. So I ended up getting in the shower. You can see how I have the lav mic right on my chest. But if you notice, I got into the shower. The thing was drenching. I tried to put in, if you notice, I have these little earbud things in. They're not actually earbuds, but there's something called ear heroes. And what those do is they are, I guess you could call it, it's what the FBI and CIA use. It's a little inner ear speaker that is concentrated on the vocal frequencies to try to cut out a lot of the other junk. And I tried putting those in my ears, but very quickly they got overwhelmed with moisture and shut off. Well, when that happened, unfortunately, I ended up losing the ability to hear, and I had to yank him out of my ears. Well, it was one thing having the shower nail me in the face, but this whole video was about lav protection against wetness. And you would think that the wetness protection I used was going to be effective, but I made a dumb mistake. I was exhausted at the time I did this. I was just trying to do something, and I was trying to position myself in a way where the rain was hitting me and not the lav itself at the beginning, and then I was going to put show how it went straight into the rain. But it ended up being that when I shot without the rain protection on there, the audio was completely unusable. Just listen to this for a second. It got completely water. It just got completely messed up. Hear that? It's because the rain was nailing it, or the shower was nailing it. You can see that was actually me pulling the headphones out because it was not working very well at all. That actually got into. I should have started with the lav water protection, but I was a complete idiot and didn't. So this audio is not savable. Here's my opening graph. Here we go.
The shower in my case, and you
Hear how muffled that is?
sound speeds, even in the rain, or in my case, the shower. Now, why am I in the shower in this particular episode? It's very simple. I'm dirty. Well, not exactly that reason. It could be.
Nothing like filling your mouth up with water and having to spit it out on cam. Awesome. Anyway, that didn't turn out so well. No, don't merge. So the whole thing messed up. It just sucked so bad. All the audio was completely unusable, and because of that, I had to scrap the project. I'll have to reshoot it at some point and do it the right way. But it was definitely a learning experience. Use some sort of ear protection, because if it would not have shorted out at the very, very beginning, I would have heard, why is my voice muffled? And I could have done it, but I shot in that stupid shower for about an hour and a half, and the water was so hot at the beginning, just like, I mean, I shouldn't say it was like really scorching or anything like that, because I didn't want it to be overly hot, because if it was overly hot, then it would steam up. But what I did do is I made it warm enough so that way it wasn't going to be just overwhelmingly hot. But after about an hour, the hot water ran out and it ended up being freezing. So if I would have showed you the end of the video, you'd see at the end, I was like, sound speeds and whatever. It was kind of funny. Anyway, like I said, I suck at live streaming.
Sound speeds. And if you've been watching my channel since before...
Okay, so that is already part of the intro that I do have, so I don't need
sound
that.
speeds. And if you...
I don't need the sound speeds intro.
Sound speeds. And if you
Probably
visited my YouTube channel... Sound speeds. And if you visited my YouTube channel or watched...
Gosh, I botch. See, every single time this restarts here, that's me botching the intro.
Sound speeds. And if you... sound speeds. And if you... sound speeds. And if you... sound speeds. Sound speeds. And if... sound speed... sound speeds.
I mean, geez, I totally suck.
Sound speed... sound speed... speeds. And if you...
see, every one of these things is me. That's me clearing my throat.
Sound speeds. And if you've ever visited my YouTube channel or...
see, it's practically the same thing. I just have to piece together my whole intro.
Sound speeds. And if... sound speeds. And if...
see, you can almost count 1, 2, 3, 4
speeds. And if you...
gosh.
Sound speeds. And if you
All right, this
visited
is
my
probably
YouTube
the
channel...
last one because it's over that one. Yeah, you see how the waveform actually changes.
Inside the document, he went over everything from what I was doing right to what I could improve upon. And one of the things he mentioned was that the graphics are a little bit difficult to read over some of my... One of the things Peter did in this document is he showed me what I was doing right and where my opportunities for improvement were. Going forward, you're going to see some graphics change.
Okay. So that was probably the good one. Let's try that one.
One of the things Peter did in this document is he showed me what I was doing right and where my opportunities for improvement were. And so I took him to heart because there was very detailed information there for me to look at, not only graphically, but also in words. And I went through all the pages, looked at all the different things, and then watched him play with the graphics. And in this document, I saw a lot of things that I liked. So I started brainstorming and worked with him to create a brand new brand for this SoundSpeeds YouTube channel.
Okay.
One of the things Peter did in this document is he showed me what I was doing right and where my opportunities for improvement were. And so I took him to heart because there was very detailed information there for me to look at, not only graphically, but also in words. And I went through all the pages, looked at all the...
okay, right there when I'm talking about going through all the pages, I'm going to show the document on the screen.
One of the things...
okay, so let's get into this thing. Those are not necessary anymore. Leave those. And I'm going to actually drop this down to the next line. The effects line, we can probably get rid of that one. Actually, we'll move it. Yeah, we'll move it there. Yeah, seriously, Andrew. It really is. Where do you think I learned it? Corporate America. And you're right. It's totally a corporate America crap
that he
sense.
sent me, highlighting a whole bunch of...
but it is corporate America speak, and it does actually make sense. As much as I hate to admit it, because I'm not a corporate America guy. I'm totally not. I tried to be. I was not good.
Graphics advice.
Graphics advice.
Could make. So how could I not take this graphics advice?
Graphics advice right there. Okay. So that is the cut point. So we're going to go over here. Let's listen to this.
Graphics advice. One of the things Peter...
okay, that's jumped.
Graphics advice.
Okay. Yep.
This graphics advice. One of the things Peter...
it's, you know, corporate America is...
this graphics advice. One of the things Peter...
it's just, I don't want to say it's soul crushing, but in very many ways it really is. And the reason why is because I'm not compatible with corporate America. To be completely honest, I was too honest. Corporate America is a cutthroat place. It's Like one of the things I remember getting in trouble for was my entire department was responsible for this one error. And the our manager said came to us and said, "Okay, I need to know what happened and who's responsible." And we were all kind of looking at each other because no one of us was really responsible. We didn't understand a policy. We didn't understand the way something was supposed to be. So we ended up not doing something right for that reason. And when I told her, I kind of I said, well, it's not really that simple. We were under the we were under the impression that this was policy and this was what we were supposed to do, but we kind of messed up as a whole. And she didn't like that answer, and she said, all I want to know is who actually did this. And I said, well, I did this part, but I was doing what I thought I was supposed to do. So I mentioned that I did part of it. Company has to have somebody take the fall for the whole department. They have to have a fall guy, so to speak. So guess who they picked for that? Guess who had to sign a document that said, I understand I didn't follow protocol or whatever else, because you have to follow this stupid guidelines and protocols and whatever else in order to be in corporate America. So guess who had to sign that document? That's right, it was me. And I hated that. I mean, I thought that was, I was like, but look, I'm not the person that was like totally responsible. It was a whole department thing. You're making it seem like I was the person that did it. Well, you were the one that accepted blame. I said, for the one part, not the whole thing. And we were all acting on, best intentions. We didn't realize that, there was this other policy that doesn't technically even really apply to our department. But anyway, so I got in trouble for that. I had the books thrown at me. Had to sign the document that said I won't do that again. Yeah, stupid corporate America garbage. I don't have much respect for corporate America nonsense like that. But unfortunately, it is like a necessary beast. You have to have it in order to accomplish a lot of things out there in the world. What is that? Okay, that should be all the way down. Yeah, okay. And then this backs up because I'm still using my transition that Let's see, it's three. It's 1, 2, 3 frames on this side. 1, 2, 3. Okay, that's actually 3, 3, 6. So it's a total of 6 right there. And the transition is the Vitacine. And in order to make this transition go seamlessly between two video tracks on different lines, you really need to add it to both lines to make sure the transition works correctly. So that way it will start here. It'll go out, out, out. Oh, man, look at that shirt. It looks like it is all of a sudden clean, and then it needs to be clean. This is a before and after Mr. Clean commercial. Wow. Okay, so
this graphics advice. One of the things Peter did in this document is he showed me what I was doing right and where my opportunities for improvement were. And so I took him to heart because there was very detailed information there for me to look at, not only graphically, but also in words. And I went through all the pages, looked at all the different things, and then watched him play with the graphics. And in this document, I saw a lot of things that I liked. So I started brainstorming and worked with him to create a brand new brand for this SoundSpeed's YouTube channel.
Okay. That's it. Now, what I'm going to do is go over to the graphics. I kind of pulled them in here, and I've got to, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to unlink this audio because it's not necessary. Then I'm going to go in here, and we're going to trim this. The video basically is at the very end. Okay, where is that graphic? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, right somewhere in there. Garbage. Okay, do that again. Play. That's it. All right. So somewhere in there is when I'm talking about this. So I'm going to fade in at that point. But the very first thing I need to do is, if you notice that the aspect ratio of my computer screen is actually not 1920 by 1080 like most monitors are. It's actually 1980 by 1200. So that's the reason why it looks like it's not as wide as it normally is, because the aspect ratio is actually it's 19 no yes it's 1920 wide, but it's 120 high. So the actual frame should be somewhere in that. So in order to crop it correctly, it does need to be someplace around there. Is it centered at all? Close enough. Let me look at this. Sorry. Right there, and yeah, that's going to do it. And that's going to do it right there. That way, when this graphic pops up there, it will be the full frame of the screen. So it's going up over there, and yeah, okay, that'll work. To check a couple of those close. Okay, that works.
A lot of things that I liked. So I started brainstorming and
it flashes. I just want to check that flash real quick, because it'd be my luck that it would flash. And hey, Larko, how's it going, man? Yeah, and Andrew, the lighting between takes, that's because I actually had to process the opening is a completely separate file than the rest of the thing, because I've already made two templates, one for the old brand, one for the new brand. Yeah, we're just totally changing. Yes, yes, Larko on blob speeds. So
a lot of things that I liked. So I started brainstorming and
okay. Larko, how'd you find me here? Someone did Eldest post about it?
and where my opportunities for improvement were. And so I took them to heart, because there was very detailed information there for me to look at, not only graphically, but
Okay. So let's just look
with
at
the
something.
graphics. And in this document, I saw a lot of things that I liked, and then watched him play with the graphics. And in this document,
So yeah, to answer you, yes, exactly. They're not in the same session. What I am going to do at the very, very end is I'm going to color correct. If you edit while it's color corrected, it lags a little bit. So I'm not going to do that. What I'm going to basically do is no, totally not. Totally not. I was looking at the YouTube sub bar and saw that you were live. Though El did post it. Okay, gotcha. Yeah, he's awesome.
there for me to look at, not only graphically, but also.
Okay, that little flash I don't like, so I'm going to take that out. All right. Where is it flash? That's right as it changes. Okay.
Only graphic. but at not only graphically but also in
Good. Okay. Yeah. No. The whole blob speed thing is that there's little blobs on Andrew's or Bandrew's, jeez, Discord server. He uses little blobs that do a thumbs up, thumbs down, something like that. And the blob is affectionately known by everybody on the server, and they made one that's holding a boom, and he is now blob, and they named it in the system blob speeds, which is awesome. So now I am known and sometimes referred to as blob speeds. Why did that? Oh, it's because I didn't do the opacity. Okay, well, let's do that. Let's do this the right way, guys. Okay. All right, so at the very, very end of this, opacity is going to go back down all the way and back up 20 frames. And since it's at 722, that means it's going to 702, and we're going to go back to full screen. What usually ends up happening for some crazy reason,
information there for me to look at, not only graphically but also in words. And I went through all the pages, looked at all the different things, and then watched him play with the graphics. And in this document,
okay, that looks good. One thing I am going to do though, oh wait a minute, I don't need to, because this is a totally different thing. Sometimes if you take the same graphic, like if I took this image and I was overlaying another one, but they weren't completely in sync, sometimes it would actually show a little bitty faint line right there because it wouldn't align perfectly. It's just a glitch, I guess, in the program. And so I would have to blow it up a little bit. But I've already blown this up. That's one of the reasons why why it looks the way it does. That was not right. I would have to go here to show you. But this will show you how it's actually overlaid. You can see it overlays the safe lines there. So we're good. Let me just check and see.
So how could I not take this graphics advice? One of the things Peter did in this document is he showed me what I was doing right and where my opportunities for improvement were. And so I took them to heart because there was very detailed information there for me to look at, not only graphically, but also in words. And I went through all the pages, looked at all the different things, and then watched him play with the graphics. And in this document, I saw a lot of things that I liked. So I started brainstorming and worked with him to create a brand new brand for this SoundSpeeds YouTube channel.
Okay. That's close enough. Now, let's move on.
Going forward, you're going to see some graphics changes, like not to mention social media. Going forward, you're going to see some graphics changes, such as my name ID Chiron and my channel logo. Not to mention social media graphics and my...
Okay. So that's, I think I zapped out of it at that point. I think I said,
going forward, you're going to...
Oh, no, I didn't.
Going forward,
there's a long section here.
Not to mention the header at the top of the YouTube channel and my presences on social media. So thank you very much, Peter, for all of your graphics. And so, thank you.
Totally botched that up. Is that the outro real quick?
Going forward, you're going to see quite a few changes in my channel graphics. Going forward, you're going to see quite a few changes in the graphics on my YouTube channel. Whoa, was that a blue trans?
Oh, wait a second. Yeah, that's the last thing I did.
Going forward, you're going to see quite a few changes in the graphics on my YouTube channel, starting with my name ID Chiron and my channel.
Okay. I think that's it. That's the one I'm going to take. I can tell because looking at the waveform monitors.
Going forward.
Okay. So let's fill that gap. You don't need that. All right, there we go.
Brand new brand for this SoundSpeeds YouTube channel. Going forward, you're going to...
All right. So Uh-oh, that's 4. We can count. I always go 3 transitions off to the end, or 3 frames off the end, rather, and then I overlay them like that, crossfade, and no, don't crossfade that. We need to go over here, pull in the Vitacine. Cool, there we go. That should look like we know.
YouTube channel. Going forward, you're going to
There we go.
YouTube channel. Going forward, you're going to see quite a few changes in the graphics on my YouTube channel, starting with my name ID, Chiron.
Okay, unveiling. This is the new name ID, Chiron. I did block it out earlier. If you weren't paying attention, you missed it. There it is. It's part of the new template. So
YouTube channel, starting with my name ID, Chiron.
okay, ready to see the new name ID, Chiron? Here we go. Oops, that's way too big. Okay, so this is a first look. This is before the video airs tomorrow. Here we go, backing up. This is the new brand. What's that popping noise?
And for this SoundSpeeds YouTube channel. Going forward, you're going to see quite a few changes in the graphics on my YouTube channel, starting with my name ID, Chiron, and my channel logo. So thank you very much.
All right, I think I'm going to shrink that, though, so that way it zaps out at the same time as before. But would that botch it up?
And my channel logo.
Man.
And my channel logo.
Eldest, you are now seeing the brand new name ID Chiron. Check this out.
Brand for this SoundSpeeds YouTube channel. Going forward, you're going to see quite a few changes in the graphics on my YouTube channel, starting with my name ID, Chiron, and my channel logo.
All right, so we're going to...
So thank you very much.
All right, I'm going to chop that. Gosh, I hope it doesn't throw off the timing.
My name ID, Chiron, and my channel logo.
Thanks, man. Took a long time to develop, believe it or not.
Logo. So
Zap some of this out there.
YouTube channel, starting with my name ID, Chiron, and my channel logo.
Yeah, so I need to take out some more. Lower third. Lower third. Well, maybe. I don't know the YouTube terminology for it.
YouTube channel, starting with my name ID, Chiron, and my channel logo.
That will work. I'm just going to actually make it a tad bit shorter just because I want it to be completely gone by the time I point over at the new logo. Glad I didn't mess up the timing.
Starting with my name ID, Chiron, and my channel logo.
Good. Okay. Well, that's the very first name ID Chiron. Combine. What is combine? Woohoo! That's cool. Let's make sure that didn't mess up.
Starting with my name ID, Chiron.
Ah. That's what I was saying. Probably botched it up. Somehow.
With my name ID, Chiron.
Man, something happened. Gremlins inside there. I can't do that.
YouTube channel, starting with my name ID Chiron and my channel logo. So thank
Okay. So it is what it is. I'm just going to group them all together so that way they won't shift on me. Good. Okay.
Chiron and my
channel logo. The new channel logo is right there. And we only need to do it for about 3 seconds. Match the other one. Yes, I did fly in with it. I think I shortened this transition in. What I typically do, here I'll zap out and I'll show you. Yeah, you know what? It was a sine wave. That's what the sine wave actually, that's what sound speeds actually is. I'll show you in a second. I'll give you a little, because this is a live stream, I'll show you the original logo. Come on now, what are you doing? Shrink. There you go. All right. But yeah, that's exactly what it is. It's a it is indeed a sine wave. Okay. Go over here, duplicate next frame, duplicate next frame. Rotation, yes. Okay. Well, I'll show you what I actually ended up doing to create the effect. Yeah, sine speeds, exactly. What I ended up doing here, this is how I usually end up doing my transitions. Right there. Then I go zap, 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 zap to the end, do the same thing, twist it around, and then drag it out. So let me just
starting with my name ID Chiron and my ID Chiron and my channel logo. So thank
you. All right. Right there, right there. 620. So 920. Oh, geez, that was terrible. So at 920, we need to be done with this whole transition. Go back for 5 right there. Go forward to 705. Now we have to match some heights here. 517. 519 becomes 517. So looking at your comment, I just got to, I'm just going to throw out the thought that it should have been white outline when on black darks. You talking about the new graphic or the old one?
and my channel logo. So thank you very much, Peter, for all of your extra.
Stovetop popcorn makes everybody happy.
With him
this new graphic, I don't know if you're talking
brand
about
for this
the new
Soundspeeds YouTube
the new
channel.
one doesn't
Going forward, you're going to see
necessarily
quite
need
a
to
few
happen
changes
that
in the
way.
graphics on my YouTube channel, starting with my name ID Chiron.
So right there. Oh, you're talking about for these S's? They're actually, you can't really see very well on this small screen right there, but there actually is a slight outline. Well, I don't know if you can actually tell. This is low res, but there is a slight outline. I did add one. Um, what I have here under artwork, new logo, creation of, I played around with the different S's. Like this one has a very faint outline around there. Oops. There's one that has a black. See, if it just says S blue, that's the standard blue. Red S border, that's a very faint. That's actually gold border. But anyway, I did play around with different ones of those. Um, the old graphic, just to at least show you here, that was part of, where is it? Intro, outro. What I ended up doing to create that initial graphic is, believe it or not, see, I did a sound test here where I was talking into my Cadec with E100, and all I did was I just talked into it, and I recorded the waveform, and then I brought up the visualization, believe it or not, in what was that program? I think it was Windows Media Player, something like that. It was very, very lame. Maybe it was. It says Spectrum 4. No, that's the. It's because I'm playing it back in VLC. I forgot what I was playing it in. It might have been Windows Media Player because it had a sizable. I could actually size up the I could size this up and make it full screen. So anyway, I played it like this. I took the whole thing, turned it monochrome, inverted it, and then all I did was I keyed this black out to make a white graphic for my intro. And then that's all I did over here. I'll show you right there. It starts, my intro always zaps in from here.
Sounds.
It always zapped in there as a waveform. And then it would squeeze into the sound speeds right there. After that, it would squeeze itself in there, and then it would expand out. There it goes, expanding out over there, and that's what would generate the name. And it was always running in the background with a slight
Visited my
black
YouTube
frame
channel
around
or
it.
watched any
But
of
it
my
looked weird. People, it looks like noise and distortion. Notice that the squiggles that are normally affiliated with my channel logo, which are those right there, those squiggles that you normally are used to, that actually, one of the things I learned is that keeps you from reading ound and impedes. You can see the S's, which are part of a sound wave, but it actually impedes that. The gap between each S would make a good border. The gap between each S would make a good border. Yeah. It may be there. I don't remember. What I do remember is I've run a couple of tests. I looked at it, and it didn't really stand out as being bad. It may be a black border that I decided to go with because sometimes I wear white shirts and I wanted to stand out. I don't honestly remember what I ultimately chose. So you see how it says red S B border? So red S B border is a black border. So the S's on the transition were actually black. I chose black ultimately. So that's what that is. You can see that the graphic will say right here, red S border, red S B border rather. Size between each S. I should read the gap size between each S. I'm not understanding. Sorry, Andrew, I'm not understanding what you mean. The gap between each S would make a good border. Man, I want to understand. You usually have a lot of really good input, and it's really cool to hear your thoughts and stuff. Stand by. But you see what I ended up doing for the transition that makes it go away is this whole thing kind of washes out and collapses upon itself. And the new graphic right there, that squiggle right there, Peter went so far over my head with the design of this thing. It was like he went back and forth in email. He did multiple samples. I would say, well, wait a minute. I mean, one of the things I did was I was like, well, why don't I just I said that I actually liked it without the top and bottom in there. So I mean, I played around with it with a couple of different. Like I did this without the top, without the red coming in here and the blue over there. But what we came to realize is as soon as this shrinks down, see you can see how it has a very faint. If it says 3 right there, that's a free 3 frame. This is an edit. This is with the border that's a different color. I mean, there's all these different variations we played with. Um, but ultimately, it was deemed that with this right here, when it shrunk down, you can't see the S's as defined without the squiggles at the top and the bottom. So those right there made it stand out and highlight it even better, which is the reason why we went back to that. And the thumbnails, just so you know, he did this, but I was like, well, I don't like the yellow. So I changed that to this. So the thumbnails I now do on the site are no longer going to have the typical design, which if I go over here, say SoundSpeed's finished thumbnails, these are all the thumbnails I've ever done for the channel. So if I go over here to like here, and then I can just like literally scroll through them all. So, and you can see the number, there's always a number in the upper right-hand corner that participation, well, that was a very short-lived thing that I did. So 48, 49, 50, all those correspond to different videos I've done. And I've always put the graphics going across the screen like this. That's going to end. We're not going to do that anymore. It seems to be something that makes it more difficult and cluttered on the icon itself. And if people want to try to read that, and they'll look at the thumbnail, people will typically look at your thumbnail and try to see what your video is about. And if they can't read it, they'll just say, forget it and move on, because it's on the graphics themselves. And there's things that impede your ability to show what you're talking about. But if you do it where on the side you name what the video is about, instead people will look at the picture, and if the picture kind of is interesting to them, they'll read the title of the video. And so that way they're not having a difficult time trying to read what your video is titled. So hey there. All right, so we have 2 new people. Hey there, hey there, hey there. What did I miss? Well, we're basically doing the rebranding video. I'm talking about the brand, the SoundSpeed's logo, and how it is changing. And we're almost done with the actual video editing portion. And I'll show you here in a second, once we come to an end. I'm going to put a couple of the other graphics up there. And we'll show you the whole video.
So thank you very much, Peter, for all of your expert graphics advice. I really can't thank you enough for doing this for free, for one, and for number 2, for doing it and being so attentive to all the little details that I find to be important. I'm really, really pleased with what we accomplished in only a matter of a few weeks. So thank you to everyone else for listening and staying with this entire video, and be looking for all the new graphics in the future. Take care, and well, I can't exactly say this was sound advice, can I?
That's actually not the end of the video.
This was sound advice, can I?
That was intentional, believe it or not. Because
Advice, can I? Advice, can I?
there is one more piece. And this is probably it.
Whoa, was that a blue transition? Yes, it was. The white transition I used to use.
Okay, that's also graphically going to be a new thing we do as well. You will see momentarily. All right.
This was sound advice, can I? Whoa, was that a blue?
Okay. Get to see me do my horrible and attempted acting. like you do every week, every
Can
episode.
I? Whoa, was that?
Okay, so right here, I'm going to overlay. Andrew Shepard, you're making me nervous. You're writing a novel. Okay. Now, the transition that we now have is going to be this right here. It is now going to be blue going forward. So the white is out, the blue is in. And I explain why here momentarily. So the white that you're used to seeing,
One of the things Peter did in the
that right there, if you notice the transition
that I
between
could
different
make.
things,
So how could I not take this graphics advice? One of the things Peter
is now changing into this.
was sound advice, can I? Whoa, was that a blue transition? Yes, it was. The white transition I used to use is a little bit difficult on some people's eyes when they watch my videos in the dark, and the blue is going to be much easier going forward. So that's yet another change that we're going to be making. So thanks for tuning into this video, and be sure to tune in the future to look for more graphics changes and to hear more sound advice.
Booyah. The color temp changed on your shirt. Yes. And that's because what I ended up doing is, if you notice, it's also on a different line here, right there versus right here. I have to edit in the color temperature. I had to do two different templates. If you look at this right over here, sure, save, rebranding. Okay. What I ended up doing, you see here it says opening. What I always do when I start off my videos is I have old start. That used to be just start. I would click on that. It would bring up my graphics with my intro graphics the way I always do them. New start was when I changed it. So my Chiron that looks like this, that you're used to seeing right there, has changed, and it now looks different. And with the way that it now looks, that is a brand new start template. So I didn't want to combine my templates and have to import them in and all that kind of garbage. So all I did was in order to straighten that out, I created a video file where I already edited this beginning. I put the color temperature the way I want it to be, and I rendered out just the first segment. Then I'm editing the rest of them, and as soon as I'm done, I'm going to go into processing, and I'm going to color correct, match this one down here, and change the same settings. So then it will all match. It'll pull out correctly. Oh my goodness. Okay, so okay. I will trust you. We'll go over here and we'll check it out. Where did my chat go? We'll have to shrink this over. I'm going to trust you on this one. I think you're not going to sabotage me here by making me go to a link.com/a/ whatever that junk is. This is me trying to understand what Andrew said up here. The gap should read size between each S. Have you tried putting a small light in the background of your booth to give it a more death feel? I can honestly say no, I haven't. Uh, the 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 borders around the S's would make the logo much more apparent, regardless if it's dark or light in the background. So you're saying put a border around the S's. I think that's what you're meaning. And I do have a black border on the S's because it's going to help it to stand out against my whiter shirts or blue shirt or whatever else. And I know what you're thinking, using a lighter one. Believe it or not, if I use a lighter one, it doesn't show up unless I make it a thicker border, because I did experiment with it. And when I make it a thicker border, it shows up too strong for me. The shields, the S's. You're talking about those two S's right there. Yeah, how that one's how that one's inverted. That's what you're talking about? By doing a white one around there, because the S's that I typically use are red and blue, the ones I've got going forward. When I take the red and blue, this two border style will show up regardless. Yeah. When I do this when I have it show up here, I put a black border around it so you can see it better. Now, it's small right now on the screen. Plus, you're seeing it streaming at like 720p. So that's going to be even worse. But when you see it on the videos themselves, it's going to stand out better than it does if it's a white border. And the reason why is because a white border actually makes it light. It shows up really awkward. It's the equivalent of, wait a minute, where is it? Sound speeds, artwork, new logo, creation of, and it's border S, border S, border. Okay, I don't know if you can see this on the live stream, but that very faint little white line, when you shrink it way down, those pixels pop. The graphics program tries to make sense of them, and they make those stand out, and it pixelates like this whole thing when it's shrunk down like that big, or this little bitty tiny thing like up in the upper part of the YouTube thing. It brings out those little pixels because it feels like those are details that are necessary, and then it doesn't stand out as well. And close a white, then black border around. Okay. Am I not using vector graphics? I don't even know what that is. You got to remember, I was going back and forth with the guy who designed this for me. So I let him just kind of run wild, and he went and he came up with a whole bunch of things. He'd send it to me, I'd shake my head and I'd say, no, can it do this, this? And I'd send it to him and he'd fire back, and he'd have a lot of different other options for me. He did graphics. I think vector might have been one of them. Now that you mention it, to make to make the waves,
and to hear more sound advice.
because it does sound familiar. You say, now we're talking. It does sound familiar. Okay, where is the end graphic? It has disappeared. I usually keep it around the 30-minute mark. And apparently, it's way down there. There you are. Man, I have too many layers in there. I don't need so many layers. I'm going to have to correct that on the template before getting there, because I have so many layers that it doesn't need to be that low. Okay. Okay, let's just delete a few of these. Delete. Okay. It's going to help me to keep it better managed. Real quick. Yes. Now, he did give me SVGs. If you look through here, you'll see a couple of SVGs, like this right here, SVG, SVG, SVG. He did send me those. It was my choice to not use them, though. I don't like them. You can't open them up in Photoshop, or at least I can't in my version. And I just basically shook my head and I said, can you instead send me a PNG file that's full res? And the files were humongous. They were a lot bigger. I mean, no, that's not one. It was like an extremely high DPI. But anyway, I know what you're saying. I'm not a graphics designer. I poo-pooed some of his ideas, even though I was like, no, it's just not my thing. Okay. Um, I like where the graphics ended up, even if it's not SVGs. I understand. I understand. It's free. I don't care. I'm in some ways I'm kind of stuck in my own way. I don't want to install another program and just to do a graphics thing that is a temporary is going to be a switch, a change, and then it's all automatically done. So yeah, well, I'm not about to buy Illustrator, and I'm not about to
Feature to look for more graphics changes and to hear more sound advice. Have a question.
Okay.
Have a question.
Okay, so moving on. Okay, about a second and a half right there. Now watch this.
Question you'd like answered or want to add something?
Always
be sure
at the
to
end of my
write it in the
videos.
comment section down below.
Always at the end of my videos, I always drop down, and I'd love to be able to say something fun like push-ups, but that's not what I do. I just go down there and I silently record the room noise. That way I can edit that kind of stuff out later. Okay.
Sound advice. Have a question you'd like answered?
So that way I completely vanish.
Future to look for more graphics changes and to hear more sound advice. Have a question you'd like answered?
Okay. Light level doesn't change. Well, what's also funny, though, is at the very, very end, usually you'll see the very, very end, I stay there for about 25 seconds, and then I stand back up, and usually I'm just like, oh, well, I guess that's the end of it. I probably hit stop on my phone as soon as I had the time I needed. Okay. All right. So, big question I have here is, should I show you guys all the graphics? Notice all the comments have disappeared. I probably have Andrew stewing. I am weird, as you know. I will kind of do some things my own way, and one of those was I wanted to do the graphics in PNG files. So I know it may not make some of you guys happy, and I'm sorry about that. I wasn't saying you were. I wasn't saying you were, eldest. But I'm saying Andrew is probably not happy with me. He is prone to getting triggered, is I think the word he uses sometimes. I'll say something, or somebody will say something, and he'll start to. I can just imagine him starting to steam. But he I will say this. I will say this about Andrew. He's extremely intelligent. Yes, I know. He explained it. Peter explained it to me. He told me it's the best format. He did tell me all that stuff. But what I told him is, I said, can you give me the thing as a bigger file, as a PNG? And just because I got okay, all right, good, because the last thing in the world I want to do is I don't want to get on your bad list there, Andrew. Yes, they have a transparent background. That's one of the reasons I like them, actually, because I use the transparent background quite a bit. That's seriously one of the reasons why I like them. Um, anyway, for the people that are here, I'm going to show the whole video here in a second.
I can't thank you enough for...
Real quick, I'll show storage, artwork, new logo. So there's the thumbnail image, new channel graphic. There's the sound speeds. New channel thumbnail. Okay, that's the way this thing is going to look right there. It's going to be up at the top. It's going to size in. It's going to say sound advice from a pro sound guy. So that's the way it's now going to look. And then I may end up getting stickers or something with this. I don't know just yet. But you see how that's actually a transparent. This here has a very faint white background or around. You can't really see it here. It's kind of hard to see. But this actually does have a background around it. Okay, I was going to say that looks like a glitch. But this right here, it actually shows up really well. So this I may put on stickers. I usually make stickers of stuff, different things. A stroke then. Okay, it's a stroke. The S is a stroke. I'm not familiar with the terminology. This right here is clear. Didn't want to do that. That right there, full, clear, both parts. So the clear is the one I'm using. Where in the world am I? Oh, I'm using that over the outro. That's why. Okay, because the outro
changes. And to hear more sound advice,
it starts to come in. You see how that's clear over the background? It's clearer on the edges.
Have a question you'd like answered or want to add something? Be sure.
It stands out just fine when because you know when you end up taking it and watching the whole 1080p video, it stands out just fine. On the small screen right up here, you're not getting a good impression of it. Anyway. But yeah, everything I did to try to make something stand out more, and I've said this a few times now. It just, see the little border around there? If I make it fine for this size, but as soon as I shrink the thing down, I mean, you can see that is a gold logo. You know, I've used gold a lot. When I made it just a white one and you shrink it down, then it ends up with weird pixelations and stuff. And I don't want to end up having 5,000 different sizes all over the place. And yes, I know that's the difference between SVG and PNG. I'm just not going to really mess with it. I like, I only really deal with graphics for the Chiron at the beginning and the graphics at the end. I didn't even change this font if you notice, but what I did change is I changed the font for this right here. This is a different font for the Chiron because I'm going to kind of, and I've thought about it, changing this these right here too. I'm actually on the fence about that. As a matter of fact, let's look at this together. The whole thing's a graphic, isn't it? Let's look at soundspeeds@yahoo.com. If I were to change it, the other font I have, the one that I liked, see, MV Boli. So that was kind of a fun name. MV Boli. It's kind of, Ebola-ish. This one here is called Black Chancery. That's the way it would look. I kind of like the graphic the way it already was versus changing it to that. So kind of like the fun look there versus that. So I think the end is going to stay like that. And I'm only going to use the Black Chancery for the graphic there. I think that's the way that it should be. So let's save the rebranding and let's watch this whole video in its completion and we'll see if we want to do anything else.
Sound speeds, and if you visited my YouTube channel or watched any of my videos produced prior to August of 2018, then you are no doubt familiar with my name ID Chiron and my channel logo. But about a month ago, I was reached out to by a graphics designer out of the Netherlands by the name of Peter Sleggers. Now, Peter is an expert in branding. And one of the things he did that completely blew my mind was he took my logos and produced a multi-page document that he sent me highlighting a whole bunch of improvements that I could make. So how could I not take this graphics advice? One of the things Peter did in this document is he showed me what I was doing right and where my opportunities for improvement were. And so I took him to heart because there was very detailed information there for me to look at, not only graphically, but also in words. And I went through all the pages, looked at all the different things, and then watched him play with the graphics. And in this document, I saw a lot of things that I liked. So I started brainstorming and worked with him to create a brand new brand for this SoundSpeeds YouTube channel. Going forward, you're going to see quite a few changes in the graphics on my YouTube channel, starting with my name ID Chiron and my channel logo. So thank you very much, Peter, for all of your expert graphics advice. I really can't thank you enough for doing this for free, for one, and for number two, for doing it and being so attentive to all the little details that I find to be important. I'm really, really pleased with what we accomplished in only a matter of a few weeks. So thank you to everyone else for listening and staying with this entire video, and be looking for all the new graphics in the future. Take care, and well, I can't exactly say this was sound advice, can I? Whoa, was that a blue transition? Yes, it was. The white transition I used to use is a little bit difficult on some people's eyes when they watch my videos in the dark, and the blue is going to be much easier going forward. So that's yet another change that we're going to be making. So thanks for tuning into this video, and be sure to tune in the future to look for more graphics changes and to hear more sound advice. Have a question you'd like answered or want to add something? Be sure to write it in the comment.
Okay.
Advice.
I think I might throw another one of the two, or one or two of the graphics in there.
And being so attentive to all the little details that I find to be important.
We'll do that one. We'll do that one. And I'm thinking there was one more. That one. Let me see something here. That's that. Okay. So I don't need that anymore. I'll remove that from the EDL.
Two, for doing it and being so attentive to all the little details that I find to be important.
So I'll show a couple more of these. Let's crop in. Okay. I think the two Philips Hue Plus pointing at the top left and the bottom right of the frame. One in blue, one in S. I don't understand that.
Find to be important. I'm really, really pleased with what we accomplished in only a matter of a few weeks.
Okay. Copy. Paste. That should add.
Important. I'm really, really pleased with what we.
Man, that's garbage. Maybe it was that. Whatever. I totally messed that up. I'll just manually do it then. Eldest, what do you mean by the Philips 2 Hue Plus? I have no idea what that means. Okay. And what we'll do is we'll shrink this thing down. So maintain aspect ratio? No. Turn that off. Because I'm going to shrink this bad boy up here. Two of the Philips Hue RGB light bulbs. Oh, you're talking about lighting inside of the set piece here. I see. So it goes back to what Monster Rating Gaming was saying. The actual light. I thought you were talking about the graphics again. I was like, what? What are you talking about? Okay. So yeah, I know that it definitely is boring back there. Yeah, backlight. It is very boring, and I'm very aware of that. I've thought about it, and I could easily add a little splash of something in there, and I probably should just because it does look boring as crap. Yeah, I didn't know what you meant earlier. That's all. All right, so let's see.
I find to be important. I'm really, really pleased with what we accomplished in.
Okay, and then the other thing, where was the other one? Garbage. I thought it added. It didn't. I'm trying to remember where I put that file. Creation of logo. Is it here? Yeah, it's right there. Sounds piece. Yeah. Where in the world did you go? You're not adding. Or is it? It must be right there. That's the reason why, because I built it on a transparency. Oh, there you go with some brilliant talent. Well, let's go in there and make one with a solid background. That's it. Sounds beautiful with S's. Okay. Oh, I'm going to get some heckling for this. The way I'm going to do this. So I'm going to duplicate layer. Garbage, that's wrong. Close. Duplicate layer, okay. I'm going to select the background. Okay. I know somebody's going to have a major problem with this. Well, that was not good. So hopefully that's enough to completely get rid of all the old thing right there. And then we will go to IMG, save as PNG. white. Okay. All right, so that right there should be fine. That's it. That one there is transparent. That one there is white. I'm gonna make you cry, aren't I, Andrew? I always thought it was weird how the lighting in the booth set didn't seem to match what Alan was doing when he explained it. Wait a minute. What? The lighting didn't match what I was doing. You know, this is a set piece. I think I explained that in a different video. This is not actually a booth. It's my friend Michael Wynn. He ended up he came out and checked out my I'll just go to his channel real quick and show you. Um so my friend Michael Wynn, when I went to his you see some of the weirdest stuff pop up on my YouTube. Okay. Um he did a video called Sound Speeds Takeover right here. And after he came over, he basically I let him show what my background looked like and what my set piece looked like. Why are you laughing? So you can see that I'm shooting right off the he's shooting right off the background right there. I'm gonna kill that. That way it doesn't, flag or whatever. And Michael, if you're watching this right now, thanks for this or whatever. But anyway, what I'll end up doing is when I'm talking about the videos and stuff like that, this is just a 3-wall set piece. It's just 3 boards, and then when I'm ready to record, I'll pull this in there and I put a piece of film up in front of it. And I'm talking about right now. The film is very, very dense, but it does a good job in absorbing. So you can see me kind of recording different things right there. I'm talking about different things right there, editing and whatever else. Anyway, my friend Michael's channel, if you go over there, tell him I said hello, tell him you saw me. You came over there from Sound Speeds. The background lights never seem to quite line up as you mentioned, and line with the foreground as you move around and gestured. Yeah. Part of that is because originally I was using a webcam. And then when I got the new computer, I started switching over and using my GoPro Hero 4. And unfortunately, the GoPro is somewhat limited in some ways. It makes it more difficult. I don't think the dynamic range is quite high enough. I think that in order for me to get where I need to be for the actual shoot and stuff like that, when I do the videos, I think my hands are blown out. I need to redo the lighting, but I want to get a new camera before I redo the lighting. But that is something that I have on my list of things to do at some point, is to get another camera, which in all honesty, I'm about to rent 2 boom poles and a boom boy to somebody for a feature that's coming up. And I'll probably take the money directly that I make from that, and I'll probably buy a new camera. I looked at a 4K. The biggest issue I run into with 4K is just that it's too much resolution. The files are just going to be too big. I don't need the file to be huge. Thanks, man. Yeah, Michael did a great job with that video. So let me actually import in this white background graphic. Shrink this down, and we'll go ahead and piece this together. Fine, whatever. Copy keyframe, paste keyframe.
In only
That's garbage. Have you decided on what you wanted to look at yet? No, not yet. Not just yet. I've thought about a couple of different things. geez, I'm just going to redo that whole thing. That just sucks. Undo. Yeah. Um, yes. The recording time issue. And that's why I'm probably going to, I know you're going to cringe at the idea, but instead of getting a DSLR or a mirrorless, unless there's a mirrorless that exceeds 30 minutes record time, I'm probably going to go with an actual camcorder, because there are some that do a pretty good job that, you know, I think they're that produce a good image. Um, who was it? Canon made a couple that I thought produced a really good image, and you can just record as long as you want to, and I like that idea. And it has an optical zoom too, which means that if I go on a location shoot and stuff, I can do an optical zoom. And basically simulate a without digitally zooming. And I hate digital zooms. But an optical zoom would allow me to do everything in the world I want to do with resizing and that kind of thing. So we'll just bring it in this way. We'll do the traditional over-the-shoulder thing. Rotate, add. Oh, Chad is moving. It's not like an... All right, the camcorder that Dope has looks great. I need to see what he uses. Zcam. I'll probably go into the Discord and I'll probably ask to see some stuff. Believe the Sony A7 cams can. So the A7 mirrorless cameras can actually exceed 30 minutes. I know the 5000 series can, or at least Mike Delgadio shoots on, I think, the A5000, and I think he told me that it exceeds 30 minutes because I've asked him, don't you have a 30-minute time limit? He's like, I don't know what you're talking about. Oh, no, they cannot. That's $1,000 plus. Just use one Sony A7. They cannot. Yeah. And I think the A7s are extremely expensive, aren't they? Like, why in the world? I think they're like, what, $2-3 grand? Or am I not thinking about the right thing? Last year on Walking Dead, I was talking to one of the camera assistants who's just a total camera geek. He just loves the stuff, as you can imagine, being a camera person. But his name is Dave, and Dave was telling me, well, you need to get this. That way you have the 4K capacity, And I'm like, look, I don't need 4K, dude. It's just not what I need to do, not what I want to do. All right, so 22:21. Now I need to go ahead to 25:21. There we go. Now I can back up 15 frames. I'll take it to 6. And we'll go ahead 15 frames ahead to 6. Okay. Now this is going to be, that's a great expression. Right there, 17. And go ahead to this and match the previous frame. That should do it.
We accomplished in only a matter of a few weeks. So thank you to everyone.
Yeah, there we go. You have to use a program to modify the original program to go. Yeah. And I've heard of those programs. I don't know how to do them. And you may be a good person for me to talk to then about that, because I don't know how to do that. I think this video is pretty much done, with exception of the color matching that I need to do from the first part to the second part. So to answer your question, Eldis, earlier, oh, wait a minute. Right here, you'll notice that this is processed already. This is unprocessed. So in order to process this, I'm going to go to Fix Enhance Color Director. It's going to pop up here. This is color timing controls and all this kind of stuff. If I go into manual, I can go through it and manually adjust everything I want. All kinds of different things, and I don't even know what some of this stuff does. It's just, ooh, that's pretty. Whatever. I'm not going to do that. But then I've also made a preset here, which is for branding. Now all of a sudden the color is now going to match the rest of the video once I hit apply to all. So there we go. And now we'll watch this video real quick once all the way through. And so you'll get an idea of the way that it's going to look when it airs tomorrow.
Sound Spades, and if you visited my YouTube channel or watched any of my videos produced prior to August of 2018, then you are no doubt familiar with my name, ID Chiron, and my channel logo.
Here, I'm going to actually, let's turn this thing into full HD, and I'm going to maximize the screen for a second. We're going to look at it. Here we go. Chat's gone away, sorry.
Sound Spades, and if you visited my YouTube channel or watched any of my videos produced prior to August of 2018, then you are no doubt familiar with my name, ID Chiron, and my channel logo. But about a month ago, I was reached out to by a graphics designer out of the Netherlands by the name of Peter Sleggers. Now, Peter is an expert in branding, and one of the things he did that completely blew my mind was he took my logos and produced a multi-page document that he sent me, highlighting a whole bunch of improvements that I could make. So how could I not take this graphics advice? One of the things Peter did in this document is he showed me what I was doing right and where my opportunities for improvement were.
It got completely glitchy there because it's now having to process the video live. So that's the reason why I do that as the very last step. Voiding warranties is a lot of fun. Blackmagic. Now, Dervish, I think that's going to be a very, very expensive camera, though. The Blackmagic Micro Cine Cam. Just because you now have me curious, let's go over here and look it up. Yeah, $1,000. You see, it's probably shooting 4K and everything. Yeah, 4K. I don't need all that. That's just $1,300 without the body, with just the body alone. Okay, or I can get the discount version, the 1080p body only, for only $1,000. See, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. Eldest, you could just write a check. We know you could just write a check for it. Let's see. Let's minimize that. So what I'll go ahead and do now is I'll say save project, rebranding, and we're going to go over here and produce this as a video. And what we do is we go over, produce this on sound speeds under finished, and this is going to be number 81. Even though it's technically not under the sound advice, whatever, it's still going to be because it's part of the channel. Most things will fall under sound advice. So, yeah, I think that's ready. Let's see. Only, yeah. Look at the Pocket Cam from Blackmagic. Okay, let's go over and do that one. Blackmagic. Okay, so you're giving me $50 off now. So $995 is now $945. Oh, you're talking about this little bad boy here. It still is like $580, but dude, no. I can't do that. On sale last year. See, it's rendering pretty fast, 25%. That's probably because it's now gotten up to the new video. That's the old video processed. So, yes, to answer your question, this is an old version of Photoshop, CS2. The reason I'm using it is because Photoshop has basically gone through 3 or 4 different companies that have hosted their video files, and they've hosted their website. And about the time they released CS3, I think 2, maybe it was 2, I don't remember, something like that. They started using a new service. That new service, they realized that they were going back and they were still receiving email support for like version 6 and version, 8 and whatever else, and they would have to go through on the different servers. Sorry for hitting the microphone. They would have to figure out those what the file was, and they'd have to support it. And so they decided they were tired of supporting old stuff, so they decided to give everybody a free upgrade to CS2. So if you go to the Adobe website, you can see that. You can go and register. You can go to download, and you can download a free copy of Photoshop CS2. And for the basic stuff I do, it's fine. So this PC, C, rebranding, it's right there. So, whoa, what's the block? Okay. Now is when you're going to really hate what I do here, Eldest. You're going to start criticizing me all over the place. All right. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go in here. I usually adjust the contrast just a little bit right there. Now I'm going to go in here and I'm going to adjust the colors. Where's the color balance? There it is. I look yellow. Oops, went the wrong way. That's probably okay. Ursa Mini? Color is subjective. Okay. So you're not going to be overly critical of this. Blue. There you go. That's perfect. Oh, no, that's perfect. The color is subjective, huh? I'll show you some really wrong color stuff. Maybe slightly along the red side. And then I don't mess with any of the highlights or shadows normally because I don't know what in the world I'm doing with those. So I just leave that the same. May need to get you to show me some stuff here sometime, Eldest. Okay, over here, drive, sound speeds, artwork, new logo. And then I have, that's clear, that's one. Thumbnail right, yes. Yeah, that's it. Okay, thumbnail right, blurry, PNG. All right. I think canvas size for this one, I hate that. I wish it was defaulting to pixels. I know there's probably a way to do it. Height is going to be 1080. And that width needs to be 1920, so it will fit YouTube correctly. Yes. Oh my gosh. I botched that up. I can't be left alone. All right, let's try this again. Let's do a canvas. All right. Here's what I'm going to do. 1920 by 1080. Sure, that's perfect. Oh man, here we go. That's beautiful. Gotta shrink this thing down. There's my little green line. All right. So Suppose I have a little thing though, line it up. Let's see, I might need to go in. I'll find it. Where are you? Where are you, little guy? Ah, I can't find the bottom. All right, there we go. We'll do that. Now we'll zoom in there and line it up. I know there's probably a really streamlined, fast way to do this, and chat's blowing up or something. If you hold Alt and Shift, it scales both sides, not just the one you've grabbed. Yeah, I was holding Shift. Alt and Shift. Okay. Dying. All right. I'm going to kill you. All right, so let's see. Shift does that, and Alt. So that just shifts. That just goes from the center versus up through there. Gotcha. Okay, and then Control. Oh yeah, I totally botched that all up. Woo! Man. Okay. Don't save that. Oh, crapola. Well. Okay, let's use your little trick. Line up at the top. Okay, that's done. See, I wish there was a way to see the outside of it so I could actually line up. You know how, like, now that you may know a way to do this. Like, for example, right here, I have excess around. I have gray around the outside of this thing. I can actually play with it. I can drag something all the way up to the very, very edge, and it works great. Alt Control Z to step back. Yeah, well, I can also go there. Now this time I'll actually hit that button. All right. Now, so the next step, I can eliminate that. If I bring that back, that's that. Okay, so let's. Don't think I need that actually. Ah, crap! I do need that. Hyper mouse clicks. Stop it. Is that clear? That's clear. Okay, cool. Load that one and load. What did I call it? I can use Final Small. All right, there we go. That's perfect. I know how to do just what you want to do in a new version, but I don't know if it works in CS2. Yeah, this may be something that I get some help with you and you can share your screen or something. You can, I might do some, ask you to help me with some video tutorial stuff at some point. I need to shrink this down like majorly. Okay. See, I just can't justify buying a new version of Photoshop. For me, it doesn't really. I mean, I tried GIMP. I just don't like it. Okay, cool. There you go. Now what I'll do is I'm going to crop in a bit. The reason I'm doing that now, you'll probably tell me you don't have to do this, but I am me and I will do things that are not necessarily the right thing. There we go. Okay, cool. Yeah, GIMP is just, I don't like the layout of it. Drives me nuts. Okay, switch those two layers. Well, mm-mm-mm-mm-mm. Two things are wrong with this. SoundSpeed's layer is no longer in my hand. So delete that layer. Go back over to the other thing. What happened to you? Step backwards. Come here, little SoundSpeeds, dude. What are you doing? Okay. Now we'll flatten. Okay, that will probably work better. Okay. Well, because I'm actually... Here's the original, the one that Peter sent me. He sent me one that did this. Had a gold squiggle in it. I didn't like that. I just sneezed so hard that my headphones never fell off. Okay, so I guess you totally didn't like something I did. Dude, I could, I'm old enough to be your dad. You're not supposed to like the things I do. Um, so this has a border on it. I mean, I guess I could add a border to make this stand out a little bit more. What do you think? Because to me, it kind of looks awkward there because of my hand up. I don't know if it's just because of the two SoundSpeeds logos right there next to each other. That definitely looks awkward to me. One thing I am going to do there real quick is I'm going to add my graphic down there. It's going to show this is video number 81. And we're going to go SA81 for sound advice 81. Wait a minute. How do... It's supposed to be a way that you can collapse those. Super quiet audio. Really strange for a channel dedicated to great. Super. So this is quiet? My audio is coming through low? Because my meters look like they're peaking in the right place. See, that's kind of what this is, isn't it? This is a transparent. Whoops. That is a that's, well, I don't know. Maybe my levels are coming through. Maybe they need to go up higher. I can't really go up. Oop, hit the wrong button there. Filters. What if I compress it? Let's compress them. Add a filter. Compressor. Sure, call it compressor. Let's go. That could be fun. Compress this monster. We only need to go maybe as high as 2.5. Threshold. This is YouTube. Right there, -13. Attack, release, 6, yeah. Output gain. Let's just leave that. Why? Okay. So it's gonna take. Let's try raising this. Why are you not going up anymore? If I brought this down, then it's gonna take my peak way down. Let's close this. Is that any better on my sound? Still not max, is it? Let's go into filters. Compressor, sure. See, normally it would give you an initial, like a compressor should give you a normal initial boost. Let's do this instead. Let's take this down. Output gain will go up. Let's go 7. So tell me if this is going out better or worse. This looks to me like the peaks are better. Don't know if that is actually better or not. You'll have to tell me. Try in filters gain. Okay. I can try that. That could be fun. I'm totally not used to OBS. Gain. Okay, gain right there. Wah! You know what? We're going to go to 10. And let's put this. Can we switch? Remove compressor. Yes. Gain first. So if I don't know if that, well, it seemed to be, it's hotter now. See, -13 LUFS is what YouTube goes out at. So it's too loud now? I mean, it looks like it's peaking the meters pretty bad. Okay, let's see if this is. All right, let's see if that's a little bit more of a subtle change right there. So, normally YouTube peaks at about -13 LUFS, and anything above that, it compresses down. It just takes everything down. Oh yeah. Yeah. I'm interesting. Now, how's the level now? Is it coming through as a better level for YouTube, or should I boost it up? My peaks right now are right at just above -13 LUFS. Go away. Go away. I mean, those are peaks. How is it coming through now? That way I can get out of this whole OBS thing. Or I mean, I guess I could also now, I can add compressor, do this one, set it to an extremely fast attack, and do it at -13. That way, anything higher than that, if I do get loud, it will grab real quick and bring down. That would only be if I like really exceeded it. So if I got really up on the mic and then just yelled. It's always good for me, but I have stuff turned down. Okay. It's better this way. Much better. Okay, cool. Well, good to know. Thanks, guys. Minimizing this. All right, so I'm going to have to just make this 2 different lines. Eldest, tell me, is there a way to shrink the space between the 2 of them? Like right there. I want to take that gap out there, the gap between around the top and the bottom. I don't know if there's a way to. What I would normally do is I would just highlight, just do an SA, put it over there, hide a 81, put it over there. Real quick, while you answer that for me, I'm going to see if I can do an outer. I can add a little bit of an outer glow to it. That's typically something along the lines of what I do. It kind of looks goofy, though. That doesn't look bad. That didn't look bad at all, I don't think, with the little white there. You like the white or you like the yellow better? Yellow would at least, let me finish my graphics and I'll come back and revisit this. Window type paragraph. Okay. Window type paragraph. A will window. Paragraph, I'm guessing. Okay. Got it. Got it. Okay. Yeah, and then when it will pop up, then it will be a box in there. Yeah, I gotta remember which one it is. That's not it. That's not it. There we go. I know I'm slow. Once I get it down to a science, though, we'll have it down. Okay, so 120 points is what we'll do. And we'll do our standard 140 size. This will go brilliant. This will live right in there. And that way I can always say it's Sound Advice 81. Now, just for fun, let's try that other font that is the new one that I like. Let's see if that makes it any better or worse. I don't think I like that one as much. Yeah, I don't think I like that one as much. Step backwards. I think I like that one. I don't know. If if the SA was smaller and the 81 was larger, maybe. But I'm not aware of a way to affect one line at a time. Like if I affect, maybe, if I change that to 90 and change this to then now I have to go back into the window paragraph, the doodad thing there. Garbage. But then that's not centered. Man, Okay. Center. What? See, those are centered on the left. They're not centered on the right. Any quick ways on how to do that? I have a 30-ounce water since the start of the stream. Highlight it, then scroll. Okay. I guess that's under character, though. It's highlighted and I'm scrolling, but I guess there's a place that I'm supposed to be that I'm not. Maybe here? Hey, look at that. There you go. Okay. All right, so here's the moment of truth. The question is, what do you think? You like this font better? You like the other one, the other funky font I usually use? We'll take a whatever we decide here is what I'm going to go with going forward. Monster Rating Gaming. My father-in-law just sent me some homemade Philippine wine strong stuff. Well, you'll need it to actually get through my stream because I suck at streaming. Okay, eldest Andrew, if you're still there, the old one, really? Okay. So get rid of this whole thing, and we'll take a bunch of step backs. So that right there. All right, so another question. Would you shrink SA and make it smaller than 81? Because right now, I think they're all size 140. 140 is my standard size. I could easily take that and maybe shrink it down to 100. Maybe 90. Maybe 80. Okay, and then window, paragraph, and then it was in here someplace. Let's do 5. Maybe 8. That's probably it. Make them the same size. All right. So that way it's like that. See, SA looks bigger than the 81. Looks bigger. Morning. Good morning. Coloss 2. Okay, so the old font it is. We'll stay with that one. And cool beans. So we'll do that. And that'll be the way it is on the channel going forward. So right there. So that would be this thumbnail. A lot less interesting in my opinion than the other one, but graphically this is supposed to grab people's attention better as if it doesn't have the words on there, because it makes people look over at the other thing, the actual title of the video. So this PC, go to storage, sound speeds, finished, thumbnail, and it'll be number 81. And we'll call this This is just my note here. Rebranding. Yeah, that looks fine. Good. Less than 2 megs in size. There we go. I have a Photoshop book I can send you. No. No. I won't look at it. I'll be completely honest. That is what you want. Just have a bunch of arrows with surprise face and you'll be good. Yeah. Exactly. All right. Well, I think that's my icon there. No. No. No, no. Close that thing down. And artwork, no, it is finished. Thumbnails. Go to 81. Oops, 81. There we go. So instead of being the little number at the top there, it is going to now be old, new. Be like this, and it will have sound advice. For the sound advice, mass mics would be MM. If I do a sonic testing, ST, that kind of thing. And I have the different series on there. So clickbait all the way. Yeah, right. Just have a bunch of arrows with a surprise face and you'll be good. Yeah, yeah. I'll have to look at that one again. It finally hit me as to what you're saying. I need some more caffeine. Here's my stuff. Mm-hmm. I don't do well with clickbait. I really do. I'm not good at a lot of things on YouTube. I don't intentionally care about a lot of stuff. Um, like my analytics are. I mean, I lose. I tell you, my channel lost so much momentum when they demonetized it on February 20th. Prior to that point, I was gaining about 120 subs a month. And now I'm gaining a lot less. Where is it? Just in subscribers alone is the only thing that we're looking at here. Monthly. Where's the monthly gain? All right, this monthly gain is 68. Lost 12 people. 12 people decided they didn't like me. 28 days. Let's look at all this year. Where was it when I got demonetized? It was right here. That was the day I got demonetized. A couple of those I think were I think those happened when Bandrew did his shout out to me in BSP 105 something. That I think that was the day I released the Yanni Laurel video. These over here were just other random fluke days. Now that might have been the BSP when he did the BSP because I remember I received like 35 subscribers between that time. Yeah, you're right, Colossus. I try to kind of streamline the whole process so it's really fast and easy. With my old, with all of these, what I would do is I would Photoshop this image to look the way I want it to. Then I would open up another graphic that would or another size that would be 1920 by 1080. Then I would grab it in there. I'd resize it so the headroom matches and stuff, and I could size it up left or right wherever I want it to be. I would add the words in there, put my logo up there, put this little thing up there, and then I'd save it. And I mean that video did terrible. Hiding cables with a long tool. People didn't get it. I mean, it's this one straight up for the film industry people, and they just did not like it. You're not supposed to see that. That's a new thing that I'm in the process of working with. Glad I didn't have the title on there. People don't like the mass mics. I'm going to phase out that series, just so you know. And sonic testing also. People don't like that one either. The regular videos I make, these, they do all right. See, sonic testing 100. That one 100. That was the live stream I did there. 200. See, I average around. See, the IGTV, that one sucked. People didn't like that one. How to balance? See, I lost a lot of momentum for a while. When I tried changing some things up after I hit episode number 100, I lost a lot of views. Like, I tried mixing up and trying to do a couple of different things. People didn't like them. People seem to like it when I go all out and mention all the different tips and techniques and tricks and that kind of stuff. I think that's what people like. But the lawn tool video, I liked it. That was the 99th video I released. Where is it? Yard tool. 165. That's all it was. People didn't like the outtakes either. It's really weird. I would have thought that people would like to watch me, mess up. Oh well. Parts in the film industry related videos. Yeah, I don't think I did that. I don't think I did the key stream. That would be there, and I haven't gone to there. I don't think I've gone there. Should consider parsing the film industry related videos. See, that's my whole thing. I'm a film industry guy. That's who I am. That's what this video right here, the Sennheiser MKH50 secret flaw, you don't that is something you can go to Google and do a search for that. It doesn't exist. Wind switches, it's not gonna show up there at all. That's a tech, nobody talks about that. It's something that doesn't exist. Roll off. I mean, they're talking about the baseball. You can go through here. Nobody has that technique out there. No one. It's a pro thing that pros talk about every now and then. If you talk to a veteran that's been doing it for like 10 plus years, they may mention it, but it's nothing that you find. That's a tip. That's a trick that I posted that on one of our sound forums. There was a bunch of people, even veterans. There was one guy who had over 30 years experience. It was like, didn't know that. So yeah, I mean, it's a big time trick. The film industry videos that I do, like the hiding things with the lawn tool, some of those, the reason I started Sound Speeds is because I kept answering. I was teaching a lot of classes, and I kept over and over and over again answering the same questions. So like, real quick, we'll go over to my backup hard drive. Sound stuff, sound class documents. So these are a whole bunch of different classes I've taught going back. And you can click on any one of them and you can see some of them. Say some of these are just videos that I have that show different things, how to untangle a cable. Some of them are funny pictures or whatever that are meme related or something like that. Like vibrate isn't silent. See, that's something I showed in a class at one point. The wrong light was one where I was making fun of a DP I was working with because for whatever crazy reason, she has these HMIs out there. These 18, or this is a 12K. But when you have a 12K out there, it's because you want the light output. Then you add little scrims of metal in there that are green. If they're green around the outside, it drops to half a stop. If it's a double, it's got maroon, kind of a reddish outer color. That's a double, and it drops at a full stop. And if you put too many of them in there, you might as well bring out another instrument that's not quite as bright. Well, I went over there and we looked at it. She insisted on lighting with this huge, big light. And look at all the metal in there. Double, 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 single. I mean, that's the reason why this thing is called the wrong light, because it's, what do you call a light that with 5 different scrims in it? It's the wrong light. It's exactly what it is. Anyway, so that's what this whole Herb's training videos. See, I did a whole bunch of I need to show a brief shop and poles, cables and cabling. I do all these different classes.
There are 3 people in the sound department: sound mixer, boom operator, sound utility. Every single one of those people touches cable, even though nobody really wants a mixer to.
So that's one of the classes I taught. What is this one?
So why in the world am I doing this class? We only did this one 16 months ago. Why are we doing it again now? Well, it's simple. The whole 479 community has changed a lot in the past year. And I keep having people come up to me and say, hey, I just graduated from SCAD, or I just graduated from the Art Institute. And I'll say, oh, that's great, so you're looking to do this. And it's almost like these schools now are telling people that if you take their program, you're going to be working on Star Wars Episode 8 next year. Because some of these people just seem to come up and feel like, well, I'm ready to go. I've been trained. I'm expecting to be part of your team.
Yeah. People love to feel like they're really important for their knowledge.
I want to say thanks for everybody coming out. It looks to be a beautiful day outside.
That said, that is the target of today's class. It's funny, every single time on the evaluation, someone says, you know, when I did the wireless class, they said, well, you didn't go into the sound utility responsibilities. I'm like, it's not the target. Today's target is boom poles and shock mounts. And that's what we're covering.
Anyway. SM58 signing, yeah. Notice I wasn't talking into the mic. You would expect a sound video. I was always so uncooperative with the poor guy. Herb did a great job with all those videos he did. I was always really bad about I was like, no, I don't want to wear your wireless mic. He's like, oh, come on, Alan. It'd make your sound better. I'm like, yeah, I know it would. But nah, I'm not going to wear it. So now I look back and I say, oh, why didn't I wear it? Upload a video. Let's upload this video and be done with it. Schedule, finish, 81. And we'll schedule this for, what is today's date? Today is the 2nd. We'll do this for 9 a.m. And we'll fix up the rest of that stuff in a second here. So what we'll do is we'll end this video right now with watching what we just got through doing, sound speeds. While it's uploading, we might as well watch it, right? It's right here. We'll watch that here in a second as soon as I verify that it's okay. So it's flying along. Means it's probably choking out the bandwidth. Is it actually streaming? Is it coming through on the stream all right? Because I'm probably choking out my upload bandwidth if I'm uploading this fast to YouTube. So, I guess we'll watch this. Yeah, if you want to help, I'm free. So far, so good. All right, let's go ahead and watch the video then.
Sound speeds, and if you visited my YouTube channel or watched any of my videos produced prior to August of 2018, then you are no doubt familiar with my name, ID Chiron, and my channel logo. But about a month ago, I was reached out to by a graphics designer out of the Netherlands by the name of Peter Sleggers. Now, Peter is an expert in branding, and one of the things he did that completely blew my mind was he took my logos and produced a multi-page document that he sent me highlighting a whole bunch of improvements that I could make. So how could I not take this graphics advice? One of the things Peter did in this document is he showed me what I was doing right and where my opportunities for improvement were. And so I took him to heart because there was very detailed information there for me to look at, not only graphically, but also in words. And I went through all the pages, looked at all the different things, and then watched him play with the graphics. And in this document, I saw a lot of things that I liked. So I started brainstorming and worked with him to create a brand new brand for this SoundSpeeds YouTube channel. Going forward, you're going to see quite a few changes in the graphics on my YouTube channel, starting with my name ID, Chiron, and my channel logo. So thank you very much, Peter, for all of your expert graphics advice. I really can't thank you enough for doing this for free, for one, and for number two, for doing it and being so attentive to all the little details that I find to be important. I'm really, really pleased with what we accomplished in only a matter of a few weeks. So thank you to everyone else for listening and staying with this entire video, and be looking for all the new graphics in the future. Take care, and well, I can't exactly say this was sound advice, can I? Whoa, was that a blue transition? Yes, it was. The white transition I used to use is a little bit difficult on some people's eyes when they watch my videos in the dark, and the blue is going to be much easier going forward. So that's yet another change that we're going to be making. So thanks for tuning into this video, and be sure to tune in the future to look for more graphics changes and to hear more sound advice. Have a question you'd like answered or want?
Okay, so there you go. That's the video as it will be seen on YouTube in, oh goody, 6 hours. It's not very long. And it's still up. Good. So this thing is now done. I just need to add my my outro stuff. My in screen. I usually just pull in from another video. I'll do that one there. And then just so you know, what I end up doing is I usually go and scroll down to the very, very end video that's about to fall away here. Roll off. We'll talk about roll off in this one. And then for the other, I do another one of my old videos. Soundware Companion. So right there. Those right there. And I try not to match these videos if I can, if I remember to. I try not to match it. Like this is my blue and white shirt. This is my blue shirt, and this is my red. And those are the only collared shirts I have, unless I go full tuxedo or whatever. Not tuxedo, suit, whatever. And then card, I got to add something in there. So I'll have to watch that thing again and figure out what card to add. If you're not familiar with what a card is, if you ever play with your videos.
YouTube channel or watched any of my videos produced August of 2018, then you are no doubt familiar with my name, Chiron.
See, it says we're live
and
right now.
my channel logo. But about a month ago, I was reached out to by a graphics designer out of the Netherlands by the name of Peter Sleggers. Now, Peter is an expert.
What we'll do is we'll figure out a good place
One of the things
for
he did that completely blew my mind was he took my logos and produced a multi-page document that he sent me, highlighting a whole bunch of improvements that I could make. So how could I not take this graphics advice? One of the things Peter did in this document is he showed me what I was doing right and where my graphics advice. One of the improvements that I could make. So how could I not that he sent me, highlighting a whole bunch of improvements that I could. It completely blew my mind was he took my logos and produced a multi-page document that he sent me, highlighting a whole bunch of improvements that I could make. So
I'm going to go ahead and add a card here. And we're going to do it as, I want to do the outtakes one. The ones with, where you see the making of an episode. That one was actually a fun one to me. It took a long time to edit because I put a lot of, where are you? I'm going to have to go manually hunting for this thing, aren't I? Wait a minute, that's it. Look at sound speeds with outtakes. Okay. A card showing a playlist that's relative to the video, part of the series. Yeah. I don't think I have a playlist like that, though. I could do the whole sound advice playlist, but it's kind of weird. What I'll do is, since you see the reason, what I'm thinking about adding this time is because I'm talking about opportunities for improvement, things to improve upon, or see me completely mess up. Yay, humiliation. Okay. So now what I'll do is I'll see if...
that he sent me, highlighting a whole bunch of improvements that I could make. So how could I not take this graphics advice? One of the things Peter did in this document is he showed me
Good.
what I was doing right and...
It's fun. Yeah. I know. All right. Talk me into it. I'll add another card later for... See, look at this right here. 3 a.m. for me.
sound speeds. And if
I'll add a link to the Mass Mic series right over here.
easier going forward. So that's yet another change that we're going to be making. When they watch my videos in the dark. And the blue is going to be much easier going forward. So a little bit difficult on some people's eyes when they watch my videos in the dark.
Okay, why are you lagging?
Transition? Yes, it was. The white transition I used to use is a little bit difficult on some people's eyes when they watch my videos in the dark.
Okay, so we'll add a playlist. So that Colossus, that's good. That's good information. I can tell because my $5 watch just went crazy. Yeah. So, Mass Mics. Need something to watch. Let's see, try this. Ah. Okay, I'll just do need something to watch. Try this series from the... Oh, this is going to be too long. Yeah. Try this series from Ep 1. Ha! Try this series from episode 1. Cool. There we go. Class, we'll see what that does for us. Check off topic once you are done with the stream. Yeah, I can't do that while we're live. That would be bad. Want to see me get, completely banned from the Discord server? That's all it would take. Be streaming live chat. Can't do that one. Anyway, might as well go ahead and hop off of stream because I just got to add a whole bunch of boring stuff in there. Have you started adding hashtags in the description? No, not yet. That's actually what I'm just going to have to go in there and do now. I'm going to go in there and I've got to add custom thumbnail right over here. Yeah, I haven't done any of that stuff yet. Rebranding, I have to add that. I have to go in here and add the Twitter. I have to add it to the playlist. It's under Sound Advice. Add it. Twitter should be time for a new look. Thank you, Peter, for your help. Good Lord, I have some typos here. So yeah, actually, Colossus, I don't know if you watched the Banjo Says podcast. If you don't, you probably should. He has a bunch of really cool videos. And if go to Podcastage right over here, and then go to his videos. I'm not going to play it for you, but one of them, YouTube tags don't matter, BSP 127. Check that one out because he basically talked about in one of his videos, he talked about how it doesn't matter what your tags are. Tags are better used for something like misspellings. If you misspell like the name of like sound speeds, like one of the things I always do is for a tag, just to show you, is I do sound speed, I do sounds speed, I do sound speeds, and I do sounds speeds. Those are 4 tags I always use. What in the world is that? Monthly searches. I'm sure there is not 180,000 searches for sound speed. I'm sure that's not it. Anyway, I'm gonna. Yeah, yeah. He's yeah. I figured. I mean, he's got. If you're a sound person and you're on YouTube, chances are you've heard of him and you're probably subscribed. But if you haven't watched that BSP, definitely watch it because he goes into great detail on what's going on there. But tell you what, for right now, that's we're gonna go along with what we have here. I got a bunch of changes I need to make to the channel. People are slowly starting to watch my stuff a little bit more. Average view time is around 4 minutes and 15 seconds, which is good, slightly up. Subscribers are going up and down. We have about 8,000 total minutes watched in the past 7 days, which is good. 1.9 thousand views, 680 views in the last 48 hours, and 14 people have been watching. This is probably mostly live streamers right there, people watching the live stream. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and call it so that way I can do all this stuff, and which is going to be boring just having me think, well, what would be a good tag for this? But there's really nothing good because people are not going to watch this video. This is not an exciting video. But to give you guys a little bit of a preview in what's coming up, since I'll go ahead and just go over that just for fun. In the near future, you see there's that shower thing I showed earlier. Unedited. No. Where is it? Oh, I'm in the wrong thing. Rebranding. I have, if you're familiar with Rothinium, he is a YouTube streamer. He does a video game channel. Right here, he was live streaming earlier tonight. He streams every single day. He's like the most dedicated streamer you've ever talked to. See, he finished 3 hours and 28 minute and 40-second live stream. He finished 2 hours ago. 1 hour and 11 minutes, 2 hours and 40 minutes every single day. 1 day ago, 2 days ago, 3, 4, 4 days ago, 4 days ago. He did 3 streams in 1 day. Hour and 47 minutes, 48 minutes, and an hour and 46 minutes. He did different things. See, every single day the man streams. 5 days ago, 6 days ago, 1 week ago. So I've recorded a couple of things with him. I'm going to be doing a video on off-axis. If you take a microphone off-axis, or if it is too far away from your subject, how can you tell a difference? I'll show you. How much off-axis attenuation does a microphone have? So if I'm pointed right at a source and I start to go off-axis, how much does the microphone attenuate? So, no, I don't watch the vidIQ channel. To be honest, I don't have all the time. I don't have all that time. No, I probably should though. I should watch their channel. I'm sure it's good. There's a thing. I've got one of 2 in America of a test of a brand new product from DPA. You're going to see if you look, go to the Danish Professional Audio website, which is dpamicrophones.com, which I think I totally. Okay, if you go to DPA Microphones, they are about to launch a new product. I'm going to be somebody that I don't think. Yeah, they haven't done the new launch of the video yet, and I can't talk about it. But I'm helping produce some videos where I'm testing this new product, and the product is right there. You can't see what it is. You can't know anything about it just yet. But yeah, DPA stuff is good. As a matter of fact, I don't know if you guys know this or not, but if you go over to Microphone University, no, that's not it. Where is it? Our company? Masters Club. Look at that. There's me right there. I'm one of their masters. So, means I'm a DPA enthusiast. I love their products. And it means that by making me a master, it means that I basically love their products and I love sharing it with people. So they have me in a special club where they take my input and they give me special opportunities to test out new things or whatever else. So anyway, a little bit of fun there for DPA microphones, but I love their stuff anyway. So I'm going to go ahead and call it there. call it there for the night. But thank you very much for coming out here and staying with me. I appreciate it. It's been fun, and we'll see you again sometime very soon. And we'll do another video of how I suck at streaming. So anyway, take care.